Sunday morning, definitely. Make sure you get in touch with your with your primary care. I did. Got the appointment, went in, and they put me and I forget the name of the blood pressure. Because she's saying you're not overweight, you're eating decent, and you're kind of your job keep you active. But still I can't figure out why you have this high blood pressure. I went to church and most people I spoke with, oh, yeah, they're on this medication, that medication. I say, oh Lord, we're preaching that we can reverse it, but still yet we're having it. So I went and I start get some chocho or chayote as we call it, or the green papaya. What I say, if you go down to the cell level, it's sodium and potassium that's fluctuating in there. If you regulate the sodium and increase the potassium, then you're okay. So I start eating more avocados, green bananas, and I even do the green plantain, wash it real good, and then use that to make porridge. And then put the right banana in there, blend it up to make the porridge in the morning with some oatmeal. And that's a sweetener instead of the sugar and the milk. And I took 5 of the medication that the doctor put me on. 5. They're about the size of my tip of my small pinky. And I said, man, this thing is going to kill out my liver. So what I realized, I start going to the gym more regularly now and exercise. And when I went back for my physical, the doctor said, how was the medication? He said, I said, no, I haven't been taking it. He said, no, you're supposed to refill that every month. I said, man, I forgot all about that. I didn't do it. He said, all right, I'm going to take you off then. So that's a sign that you can reverse your blood pressure if you change your diet, change your lifestyle, not your diet, and do some exercise. Follow the 8 laws of health. And it's been over three years now that I haven't taken that. Well, the box of medication is still there, less that 5 that I took. So I keep it as a souvenir to say, well, and hey, you can reverse your blood pressure. 2 weeks ago, I took it. It was 128 over 6 or 7. And the heart rate was 56. And they keep saying it's low, it's low. And I say, all right, that's what I want it to be. So that's my testimony for this morning. It does work. Thank you.
Not hearing you.
I thought you guys could read my lips. Health, health. If you want to be healthy, you have to make the choice to become healthier. And so when we look at Kent blood pressure was 200 family. That's a stroke, a heart attack in the making. And he went to the doctor. And the doctor gave him medication. He took enough medication and also made the change. So because he wanted to be healthier, and he has been hearing about these 8 laws of health, these 8 simple laws of health: eating more bush, walking more, drinking more water, being in the sunlight, being temperate, getting that fresh air, getting to bed on time, and his relationship horizontal and vertical. He's been hearing it for years. Years he's been hearing it, but he did not make the choice. He did not practice what he has been hearing. And so he decided to say, okay, all these individuals have been on medication for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, and their blood pressure is still high, and it's affecting the other organs, and it's imbalancing, and oh mercy. So he decided to make that change, and he has made that change, and look at it, 3 years now, right? And his blood pressure, the doctor took him off of that medication because he decided to make the change for high blood pressure. The laws, right? He decided to make the choice to choose the different steps. He exercise. Can you imagine his wife is, if he's married? Yeah, his wife is looking at him and saying, "Man, my husband is looking fantastic. Look at the muscles, right? Look at the muscles." And then his wife is saying, "No, I can't allow my husband to look so good. I need to follow him." Right? So they are looking young, fresh, and balanced. Oh, thank you for sharing, my brother. Thank you for sharing that. So we've been looking at ignorance. Right? We've been looking at ignorance, and we've been looking also on looking at questioning. If you were here last week and the week before, we started to look at the question. What's the question? The question is, your ignorance killing you? Not knowing what you should know, is it killing you? That's the question. Not knowing, and I must welcome my TikTok followers. You know, someone asked me for the link for my TikTok. And so we've been talking, and so I'm going to ask the questions. I'm just going to run through the question. Get your pen and paper, right? Because you're going to need to know, if what you don't know is killing you. Let's begin. So make sure you get your pen and paper. Some of you have been here from last week. If you're, can someone share the link? Copy the link and share the link in the chat so that we can share the link. Please share the link on TikTok and say hi so I can say hi back to you guys. No one is saying hi to me. What's going on? All right. So first question. So we're going to run through the questions, the first 20 questions. I'm going to run very fast, right? See if I can get my digestive exercise in at the beginning here. All right, so the first question was, so for each yes, you're going to give yourself 10 points. For each yes, you're going to give yourself 10 points. And for each no, you're going to get 0. So if it's a yes, you're going to put down 10 points, right? We are going to aim for a total of 1,000 points. So you're ready? Are you ready? Let me just share the link, because I don't see anyone sharing the link in the chat. So let me just share the link. And on TikTok, please share that link, right? So the question is your ignorance killing you? Because you don't know, is that killing you? All right, so let's run. First question, if I can see to read. Do you consume a strictly plant-based vegan diet? If it's yes, 10 points. If it's no, 0 points. Next question, do you avoid processed sugars and refined flours? That's number 2. 10, yes, 0, no. Third question, is your plate at least 50% fiber rich vegetable and fruits? 10 points if yes. Number 4, do you consume legumes, beans, lentils daily? 10 points if yes. 0 point no. 5, do you avoid snacking between meals? Snacking is if it's not breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and there should be at least 4 to 5 hours between meals. So if you are eating between, even if it's a juicy mango that you just pick from the tree, right, wherever you are, if it's between breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you need your snacking. Snack is that you're eating between meals. All right. So if it's do you avoid snacking between meals? 10 points if yes, 0 point if it's no. Right. Number 6, do you prioritize whole grains over white bread and rice? 10 points yes, 0 points, no. Number 7, do you limit salt intake to under 2,300 milligrams daily? You have to work out the amount, right? You have to work out the amount. If it's a yes, 10 points. If no, 0 points. Number 8, do you eat your largest meal in the morning or midday? Let's say in the morning. If it's a yes, put 10 points. If no, 0 points. Number 9, do you avoid charred or deep fried foods? Yes, 10 points. No, 0 points. Number 10, do you chew your food thoroughly 20 plus times per bite? Now, when you chew your food must be liquid before you swallow, right? Your food must be liquid before you swallow. There shouldn't be chunks of food going down into the stomach. The stomach is, if I remember correct, I should have asked my dentist if there is any teeth in my stomach. You know, that's a good question to ask my dentist. There is no teeth in your stomach. So if you decide not to chew the food properly, when it gets down, those big chunks gets down into the stomach cannot bite them. Right? It's a reason why your teeth is blocking anything from coming in when you close your mouth. We need to bite it. Right? Anything that you put in your mouth, bite it and chew it properly. Alright? And then you swallow. So, do you chew your food thoroughly 20 times or more? 10 points. So, if you said yes to these 10 questions, then you have 10 times 10 is 100 points, right? So you have gotten 100 points. So you're doing fantastic. You're doing fantastic. All right. So let's move on. So we're going to look at the other 10. We're going to run them fast, right? So next question. Do you engage in at least 30 minutes of moderate activity daily? I did, I think, over 5,000 steps this week. So movement is important. At least 30 minutes per day. You can do 5 in the morning, 5 midday, and 10 before you go to bed. That's a lot there, but that's okay. You go to sleep after doing that exercise. And so the 11th question, do you engage in at least 30 minutes of moderate activity daily? 10 points, yes. Do you perform strength training twice a week? You hear Ken was saying that he went to the gym. Didn't he say? Oh man. And so he got 10 points. So if you do perform strength training twice a week, 10 points. Do you walk for 10 to 15 minutes after a meal to help to digest that food? 10 points. Do you stand or move at least once every hour while working? Some of us sit at our table and we sit and we sit and we sit and we are killing ourselves. Ignorance, right? We've been killing ourselves for years because we decide to sit. No, every 20 minutes they say we must stand up, take a walk, get some water, sip some water and sit back down. Right? You know, standing, as I learned, uses more energy than sitting. Right? You don't need anything. The mind don't have to send those signals through the nerves end to ask the muscle to okay, hold that pose. We are standing. No, there's no nerves firing. We just sit and the body does say, oh, we don't need any cognitive functioning of the brain, right? And so, do you stand or move at least once every hour while working? 10 points if yes. And do you exercise outdoor whenever possible? 10 points, yes. Is your resting heart rate below 70 BPM? 10 points. Do you prioritize walking over driving for short distance? 10 points. Do you stretch daily to maintain flexibility? 10 points. Do you practice deep breathing? 10 points. Right? Do you avoid sedentary entertainment TV for more than 2 hours? 10 points. If you said 10 to all of those, you have gotten 200 points thus far. Right? Look and see. I don't know if you were writing them down, but think about where you got your numbers low and improve on it. Right? The best way to get healthy is to practice healthy habits. So we're going to move on to water. Right? And welcome to if you're joining us, we are looking at ignorance. Can ignorance kill us? If we don't know, right? Sometimes we think and say, we don't know, we don't need to know this. But ignoring that information, is it killing us? Like we know high blood pressure, if we knowing that if we don't drink water, if we don't get our water intake at a maximum, that can cause your blood, because there's no water in the blood becomes thicker, right? And because the blood is thicker, what's going to happen? The heart, that is designed to pump liquid. So the thicker the blood is harder for the heart. Oh, the heart knows sometimes the heart needs to get enlarged. When we talk about enlarged heart, the heart has to readjust itself to get bigger and stronger so that it can pump that thick blood, right? And so if we don't know, we've been told that we don't need, or we've been told, we have been bombarded by these we have been bombarded with these colored drink. And all these colored drink, purple, pink, orange, green, all these colored drink, the one that we have in the cup. That drink that we have, that brown, and we put a lot of sugar into it to change its taste. All that drink, when we drink all of these stuff, guess what? We need water to digest it. It leaches water from the system, and anywhere the body needs to get the water, it takes it from the blood. First and foremost, it takes it from the cell itself. So the water is taken from our cell. And so the water is needed by the cell. The process that goes on into your cell needs water, and so your cell no longer able to be as efficient and effective. If we understand the importance of water, we will have a big tank on our head with a straw leading into our mouth, sipping on water. Sipping on that water. Moving on. First question with water. Water, the universal solvent. First question. This is, do you drink at least 8 glasses of pure water daily? If yes, you're going to put down 10 points. If no, don't put any down. Put 0. Right? Next question. Why? AHS1, which is the Adventist Health Study 1, found that drinking 5+ glasses of water daily reduced fatal heart attack by 50% compared to those drinking 2 or less. Can you imagine that? If you want to reduce your ignorance of thinking that you can do without drinking water and you might not get a heart attack. If you want to reduce your heart attack risk, you need to drink 5 or more plus glasses of water. How do I drink my water? I sip it. I don't have any water here now, but what I do is sip. I just imagine that the water is hot, and that will prevent you from gulping down all that water at one time. Why is that? Because if you send the water too quickly into the body says, hey, too much, let's urinate it out. So it bypasses the cell and goes straight over to the toilet. And so when you sip it and squish it around in your mouth, you know, we have been taught, can I say that? We have been taught that the best way to drink the water, we saw our parents doing it, we saw our brothers and sisters doing it, is to just gulp it down. Man, I'm thirsty. Gulp, 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 gulp. We have been taught that way. Why not re-taught ourselves and sip that water? You know, in nature, the fruits and the vegetables and all of these food, they have water in it. Right? Cucumber is 95% water. And so when you eat the cucumber, you get water. And it's in its natural form where you don't have to worry about contamination and all these stuff. Because the root of the tree already filtered out whatever needs to be filtered out and put it in a fruit. Right? And so, if you want to reduce your risk of heart attack by 50%, increase your water intake to 5%, 5 or more glasses of water. And a glass is a cup. Right? A glass is an 8-ounce cup. Right? So 5 glasses. If you're not drinking anything, no, start. If it's just a mouthful of water, start with that. Right? Start where you are. Because I remember some years ago when I decided to drink water. Man, that water was terrible. But I have learned because I know the importance. My heart loves me more because of the water. My kidney loves me more because I'm drinking more water. My brain loves me more because I'm drinking water. My left eye loves me more because I'm drinking water. My left nostril loves me more because I am drinking water. My left ears loves me more because I'm drinking water. My joints. Do you know there's water that helps to lubricate the joints? My joints loves me more because I'm drinking water. Right? And so, why not love yourself? You know, because we hate ourselves, we don't do the things that we need to do to show that love. Love yourself so you can love your neighbor and your friends more, right? All right, so let's move on. So, if you want to decrease your risk of heart attack, and heart disease is the #1 cause of death in the world. Heart disease. But the underlying, the heart, high blood pressure is the second cause. Right? Let's move on. So you get 10 points. 10 points if you're drinking 5 or more glasses. Get your pen and paper. We're looking at ignorance. Do you avoid drinking water during meals? Do you avoid drinking water during meals? You know, I was taught that I need to drink down the food. After eating the food, I must get a big container of water and gulp it down. Right? So 10 points if yes. And the reason for that is diluting gastric juices slows digestion and can cause fermentation in the gut. Do you hear that? The food must have the water in it. Can I say that? Your food must have the water in it. So when you boil the food, guess what's going to happen? The water, the steam get lodged into the food itself, right? And so by eating cooked boiled food, you're getting the water from the food itself. So you don't have to drink down the food, right? The food don't need any help. If you chew it properly, your mouth will produce enough saliva and the enzyme coating the food and allowing the food to, but because we were conditioned, right? We were conditioned that we need to have something to drink at the table. Can you imagine that? We were conditioned to have something to drink at the table. And so we drink and we drink and we drink and we wonder why we go to sleep after eating. The body say, oh man, we need to digest this and we have to get rid of all that liquid because the hydrochloric acid is diluted. It's not concentrated enough. So it won't be able to digest the food properly. So we need to suck that water out and that's a lot of resources. But because we were conditioned incorrectly, and so today we're going to learn not to. Some of us might not be able to start today. Start at where you are. So instead of that big container of water or liquid to drink down the food, why not get a smaller container till you get to the point where you're chewing the food properly so that you're producing the moisture that is needed, and also drinking your water or eating your water hour before or half an hour before, so you have enough moisture liquid in the body can produce the hydrochloric acid and the saliva and the different enzymes that is produced. Right? So diluted gas juices. Let's move on to the next question. We are number 23. Is your urine consistently pale straw colored? Yes. 10 points. 0 points. So if you're not under medication and your kidney is working properly and your system is working properly, then when you go and urinate, it should be pale straw color. That means you have enough water in the system, right? You're good. So your urine is an indication of your health. Remember that your urine is an indication. So if your urine is pale straw colored, then you're gonna give yourself 10 points. Why? Dark urine is a sign of cellular dehydration and kidney stress. I'm doing a presentation later on kidney questionnaire on kidney health later. I will do it when I finish doing this presentation here. I still have some time on this ignorance. So dark urine is a sign of cellular dehydration and kidney stress. Also, if your urine is smelly, right? If it has a smell, that means it's an indication. So you need to check. You need to dress back and say, okay, did I eat too much? Did I chew my food properly? What's going on? I'm not supposed to be smelling every time I eat. I smell the food that I'm eating. That means something is going on. The efficiency of my kidney might need to do a kidney flush, right? Am I drinking? Am I getting enough liquid in to help the kidney, right? So you need to. Am I eating too much protein? Do you know there's the body? When we eat animal protein or in protein in general, it affects how the kidney process the protein, and so we have to be careful, right? Next question: do you drink a glass of water immediately upon waking? Right? Question: why? Give yourself 10 points. Rehydrates the body after a night of metabolic waste buildup. So remember, when you sleep, the body is saying, okay, we get an opportunity now to remove all the waste into the bloodstream. We're going to put all the waste, and so the bloodstream become more acid because of the waste that is being pumped into the bloodstream. And guess what happened to your blood? Your blood pressure, your blood becomes thicker, right? And so you need to introduce that water back into, replenish that water that you have been using all night, and it's to balance back that water. And if you can squeeze a little lemon in that water and use another container of water so that you can wash the lemon out, or if you have lime, use what you have in your hands. Next question, number 25. So just to recap, not to recap, but to pinpoint where we are, we've been looking at questions that they allow us to see if what we don't know is killing us. So do you avoid sugar sweetened beverage, soda and juice? 10 point if yes. If yes. 10 point if yes. Why? Liquid calories are a major driver of fatty liver disease. Did you hear that? Sugar. We have been bombarded. Everything has sugar or carbs, refined sugar and carbs. And so the body has to, the liver now has to process these extra stuff. And so it causing the liver to we're killing our liver. Let's put it that way, right? And so the body, it causes fatty liver disease. Liquid calories. Remember, first time we used to take the sugar and we will eat the sugar. Now they turn the sugar into liquid. So we are getting much more sugar into our system. So a tablespoon of solid sugar is different from a spoonful of perhaps the sugar, because it's in a liquid form. So it's more concentrated. Our sugar is more concentrated in the drink itself. So we are getting more sugar in our system, and our liver is dealing with a lot. And say, man, the liver look at that and say, okay, what are we doing? Man, this is too much. The liver is complaining. It's too much. Why is that idiot brain don't see that this sugar is killing us? Why that idiot brain don't make the proper choice? Perhaps because the ignorant brain don't know that sugar is killing the liver, and so that you don't have to drink alcohol to kill your liver. You can eat refined food that is processed, ultra processed, or whatever they call it. And so learn to love your liver. What can we do that? Learn to find out the needs of your liver and put in place the food that the liver loves. Right? The liver loves water. Right? Dandelion is also good for the liver. Right? Do a search on what can I do to show my liver that I love it. Yeah. Why not learn to love your liver? So ignorance can kill you, family. Let's move on. Next question. Do you avoid caffeinated beverage? Do you know it takes 5 cups of water to help to digest caffeine or coffee? 5 cups. So it dehydrates you. That's what it does. It dehydrates you. And so do you avoid caffeine? If you avoid it, give yourself 10 points. If no, you get 0 points. Why? Caffeine acts as a diuretic and can lead to chronic low-level dehydration. You don't want your body to be chronic chronic level of dehydration. It causes, if you imagine what water, I must do a presentation on water next time. Move on. Question number 27. Do you use water externally hydrotherapy to stimulate circulation? Like, well, where I'm at in the US, the water comes in hot. But you know, a friend of mine went to a small island, and she was in the she was in she was in she was in the she went to up in the mountains, and the spring water comes out of the rock, but it comes out hot, right? It comes out hot, and that hot water causes blood flow to the skin. And so that's hydrotherapy right there, right? So the blood moves from the heart and goes to the extremities, which reduce the concentration of blood at the heart itself. And so by doing that, you reduces that your blood pressure. You'd like to get a copy of Elder Will. All right, moving on. I put the copy in the chat. So let me recopy Elder Mayman Wilson. I think that I can do that here. Post. Okay, so the copy of the high blood pressure is in that chat. So do you use water externally hydrotherapy to stimulate circulation? 10 point if say yes. Alternating temperature can boost the immune response. Did you know that? Hot and cold. Hot at least 3 minutes, and cold at least 30 seconds cold. That will help for your white blood cell to multiply, right? If you're able to do so. And Sister Hazelwood, I'm muting you. Number 28. Is your drinking water filtered or from a clean source? Is your drinking water filtered or from a clean source? It's important that you know what your water. And I'm seeing in the chat a lot of people are putting 10, 10, 10, 10. Sister Price is almost all 10 there. That is very good. All right. So, is your drinking water filtered or from a clean source? 10 points if you know, yes. 0 points if not. Heavy metal, you know, heavy metal, not the physical metal that you go out there and try to lift. Heavy metal and chlorine in tap water can damage the gut microbiome. And so the flora in your gut, heavy metal and chlorine can damage. And if you don't have the right amount or the balance amount of gut bacteria, good and bad, we need a little bad, 20% bad they say, and 80% good. You cannot digest how you should digest, and it affects the wall of the small intestine. It affects the wall of the small intestine. Remember, the type of bacteria that you have determine what is absorbed, what is digested. Remember that. And so what you eat must be different type of food. They say at least 30 different type of food per day or per week. That helps to grow a good bacteria in your stomach. They are very important. All right, question number 29. We're going faster this week. Do you drink water 30 minutes before a meal? Why 30 minutes before? Is to get the water, make sure that the water is digested. Is digested before you eat your food. So you give a head start on the water that you are taking in, allowing it to digest so that it's emptied from the stomach. Right? So you will know when you can play around with it. All right? Why is this? It says preloading with water aids in weight management and prepares digestive enzyme 10 minutes before. So drinking water before kickstart your metabolic rate by 30%. Right? So that is different from exercising. So if you want to just naturally increase your metabolic rate, just drink water at least 30 minutes before, and it kickstart your metabolic by I think 30%. Right? All right, let me look at the chat. Where we have a chat 10. Sister Caroline says 10. All right, moving on. Do you choose water over diet drinks with artificial sweeteners? Right? You notice the water in the bottles are more expensive than the other stuff that you buy. Why is that? Is that a deterrent for you to not drink water? It is important that you drink or chew your water. It is important. If you're not doing so, start today and you will see a difference in those pains. You see all those pains that you might have? You see all these? Just start drinking some water, chewing your water. Now, do you choose water? So you're giving you 10 points if yes, 0 point if no. Artificial sweeteners are linked to altered gut bacteria and increase appetite. Did you hear that? Artificial, sweeteners are linked to altered gut bacteria and increase appetite. So the artificial sweetener is not just killing your bacteria, but making you fat. Yeah, think about it. Because you increase your appetite, that means you're going to eat more, and if you eat more, you're going to get fat. So be careful. Don't take your money to buy non-food. Can I say that? Don't take your money to buy non-food. That means if it's not food, don't use the money. Somebody gave you that money, or did you work for it? If you work for that money, you should not be buying anything that is not food. Do you want me to repeat? I'm not repeating that. You understand what I'm saying? Take your money. If you're going to buy food, buy real food. You need to buy real food. With your money that you spend, you work hard for your money, and you're going to buy artificial food. How do we? I don't understand. We get up in the week early, we take the bus or we drive 2 hours, 3 hours, we go to work. After a week or 2 weeks, they gave you money that you work hard for, and then you take this money and you buy false food. Can you imagine that? We willingly go out and buy false food. Something is wrong with that. We have been really conditioned to do crazy stuff, right? And so artificial sweetener can make you fat. Remember that. Artificial sweetener can make you fat. So if you have gotten 10 points for these 10 questions, you have gotten calculating 300 points. So the more score you have is the more you're doing. That means ignorant is not killing you, right? ignorant is not. So the more numbers, the higher you score, that tells me that you're not ignorant. Because if your score is low, that means you have been killed by your ignorant. And so we're going to change that. So let's jump over to the next set of information. And we're going to look at sunlight. Sunlight and the life giver. So the first question, we are looking at ignorance. We are looking at questions that tells us if we are ignorant by if we score ourselves 10%, then that means for that means that we are not being killed by that question, right? All right, moving on. Do you get at least 50 minutes of sun exposure a day? Question. Do you get at least 15 minutes of sun exposure daily? 15 minutes on the skin. I can't bathe after. You have to wait, I think, 2 hours after before you can have a bath. Sister Hazelwood? Right? So 10 points. If you get 15 minutes of sunshine each day, you're going to give yourself 10 points. Next question. Why? Why is that? Essential for vitamin D synthesis, which regulates over 200 genes. Vitamin D plays an important role in your body. We need vitamin D. Let me repeat. We need to get that sunlight. If we're not getting that sunlight, we need a natural source of vitamin D. For mental health, we need it. For physical health, we need it. Every cell needs vitamin D. Right? There's no way around it. Some of us might be sick because we don't have enough vitamin D or we don't have any vitamin D. Mental health, vitamin D. Right? So wherever you are, make sure that if the sun comes out, you get your 15 minutes. Make sure that you are hydrated. Make sure that you are getting the correct oil in your system. Omega-3 oils. Right? If a plant source is better. Because the fish source, you're talking about mercury. Right? Mercury kills the brain. Mercury is toxic to the brain. Not just the brain, but the entire body. Right? So so the question, do you know your vitamin D level? Do you know your vitamin D level? So I'm going to do a checkup on April. I'm doing a blood work. I do my blood work. And each year I've tried to find out where my blood level is, my counts, my panel, my blood panel, to see what I need to do. I think I've been taking my D12, vitamin D, but I need to know where it is. So I will ask my doctor to tell me where it is so I can make the adjustment. All right? Moving on. So do you know your vitamin D levels? If yes, 10 points. And if it's above 40 mg/ml. Why is that important? Low vitamin D is strong linked to colon, breast, and prostate cancer. Did you hear that? A low vitamin D is strongly linked to colon, breast, and prostate cancer. And so, men and ladies, if you have breast cancer, colon cancer, or prostate cancer, please ask the doctor to make a check on your level, your vitamin D level. Your lack of this information might be killing you, right? Next question. Do you expose your skin to early morning light? Do you expose your skin to early morning light, or are you sleeping until midday? Why is this important? Sets the circadian clock, right? It sets the circadian clock, improves sleep quality at night. And so early morning sunshine, guess what? Fix your circadian clock. Did you know that? So make sure that you get up early. If you go to bed early, then you can get up early. But if you go to bed midnight because you're on the TikTok or you're on the YouTube or on the Instagram or on all of these programs, and you go to bed 1 o'clock, 1 a.m., then you can't get up early to see the sunlight. So you need to make the choice. You know what I do? Before I just go to bed, I don't even look at I don't even tell my phone, I am going to bed, no phone. No, I just plug it in and just run into my bedroom. Yes, because that phone will, oh, you need to check your TikTok, Mr. Linton. And then I'm on TikTok looking at TikTok, and I'm looking at TikTok, and then it's after midnight. I'm saying, what? No. I just put down the phone and run straight into the bed. So my phone is way over. I don't hear it, I don't see it, I don't smell my phone. I leave it alone because that thing is addictive. It is addictive. You know it's addictive. You have a shower and you have it in your hand. You're driving, you have it in your hand. It's like coffee. I see individuals with coffee cups. They are driving, man, and that coffee is right in their hand, man, and they're going left and right, and the coffee is right there. That is the second most addictive substance known to man. The phone is the first addiction, right? And so we need to go to sleep. I have a friend on one of the chat, and by 6 o'clock, he says good night. He posts a flyer and say good night, family, right? And I want to be like him, right? We always have so much things to do, right? Why not go to bed? Do you know the screen gives the same effect as daylight, the blue screen from the phone? So it's tricking your mind. You wonder, oh, why not? Why am I not going to bed? Because the phone and the monitor screen has a blue light that tricks the brain thinking that the sun is still up. And so you have to be purposeful in getting that sunlight. Let's move on. Do you use sunlight to disinfect your home? Open the curtains. You open the home and getting that sunlight in. Do you do so? Our family in the Caribbean might do so, or wherever you are. Open the window and get that sunlight. If you're able to get that sunlight in, get that sunlight in, right? Sunlight. So yes, 10 points. You get 10 points if yes, 0 point if no. Let's move on. Why is that important? UV light kills many airborne pathogens and mold spores. Did you hear that? Ultraviolet light kills pathogens and mold. Remember that. And so when you wash your clothes and you're able to hang your clothes on the line outside, do so. Next question. Do you avoid chemical sunscreens with endocrine disruptors? Sunscreen. We put sunscreen on when we are going outside. Are you able to eat the sunscreen lotion? If you cannot eat it, it should not be on your skin, because if you look correctly, you have these pores that anything you put on the skin gets absorbed into your bloodstream. And so if you cannot eat it, it should not be on your skin. It's hard. If you cannot eat it, it should not go on your skin. You're indirectly eating it. It's best you eat it because at least your digestive system will kill it. But your between your skin and your bloodstream, there's nothing to stop or neutralize whatever you put on your skin. And so if you cannot eat, it shouldn't be on your skin. My roll-on that I use this morning is my lemon. The same lemon that I squeeze in my eyes. The same lemon that I put under my arm. The same lemon that I squeeze in my water. And so I'm getting half of lemon. I'm getting 3 different purposes for my lemon. 3 different purposes. 3 of them. My eye bright. My water to alkaline my blood and to get my stomach ready for digesting the food. And for my arm, which doesn't prevent my lymphatic system from dumping all that toxin that it has been going around gathering. And so when we put on roll-on to prevent perspiration, guess what? Where does the toxin goes? In the breast fat. Are we ignorance is killing us or what? Mercy. Yeah, Sister Sonia, blessing. Yeah, is ignorance killing us or what? Can you imagine that? We put on these cologne and perfume because we don't like how we smell. Right? We hate ourselves so much that we put on these toxic chemicals. Right? And then we put it on and we go out there and toxifying everyone around us because the person around us is breathing in that toxic smell because we don't love ourselves. Ignorance is really killing us. So the question 35, do you avoid chemical sunscreen with endocrine disruptor? If you are taking in good fat into your system and being temperate and eating correctly and all that, you don't have to worry about sunscreen. You don't have to worry about the sun. Right? And remember, you have to be temperate. You're not going to stay out there until you smell barbecue and wondering, what are they barbecuing? Because you're in the sun too long. You need to be temperate. Right? So the reason for that is certain chemical oxybenzone can interfere with hormonal health. Did you know that? That is from the sunscreen. Why not use natural sunscreen? I'm thinking about aloe vera. Taking out the middle section of the aloe vera plant, the leaf itself, taking out the middle, that gel, and make your own natural sunscreen. All right. Next question. Do you spend time in nature, forests, parks regularly? Do you do green space? Do you go to the park and the forests and the trees? Right, they call it forest bathing or something like that they call it. Where you just go to nature and smelling the fragrance from the trees and listening to the water running and the birds singing, right? And just relaxing. Or are we in the car, in traffic, stressing because we need to get home? Do you spend time in nature, forests, parks, regular? 10 points if you yes, 0 points if no. And why is it important? Sunlight filters through trees. Phytoncides. First I'm seeing that. So PHYTO, phytoncides, I think, boosts natural killer NK cell. Did you hear that? Sunlight filters through the tree, boosts your natural killer cell. And so if you want killer cell, guess what? You need to go there in nature and make sure that the sunlight where you're standing, that you are getting a filtration of the light through the leaves and touching your face and your skin. So walking in the park or the forest is fantastic. Just keep an eye out for the lions and the bears and anything else that can bite you. Moving on. Okay. Number 37. Do you allow sunlight to hit your eyes indirectly in the morning? Do you know it goes through the lids, goes into your pineal gland, and it lifts your mood? Did you know that? The sunlight, just going outside, closing your eyes and allowing that light to touch your eyes, it lifts your mood. So if you're depressed, is it because you're not going out there and getting that beautiful sunlight touching your skin? Right? So do you allow sunlight, 10 points, do you allow sunlight to hit your eyes indirectly in the morning? Why is that? Triggers serotonin. You have heard that term, right? It triggers serotonin production, the precursor to melatonin. And so, if you want beautiful sleep, restful sleep, make sure that you're getting that sunlight. Right? What did it say? It says, do you allow sunlight to hit your eyes indirectly in the morning? And so you're getting your serotonin production, which is a precursor to melatonin. And so when you have those two hormones, oh man, your sleep is restful. Man, just imagine that sleep. Tonight you're going to try it out. Or tomorrow morning, make sure that you get that sunlight in. And just thinking about it. You know, your mind is a powerful. What you think about affects the entire body. And so if you think you're going to have a wonderful rest, you're going to have a wonderful rest. But if you think, oh man, it's going to be miserable and I'm not going to fall asleep. Oh, what am I going to do? Oh, I can't. No, don't stop that. Stop it. Just say, oh man, it's going to be, I just can't imagine when my head hit the pillow. I'm just going to relax on that pillow and I'm going to dream sweet dreams. Oh, it is going to be fantastic. Just, and that change your entire perspective. At this moment, you want to go to sleep now because that sleep is sweet. Stop thinking about all these other stuff that you think about. Oh man, another day I can't sleep. No. Say, man, this sleep is going to rest. And when I do fall asleep, it's going to be fantastic. Fabulously, fantastically fantastic. All right, let's move on. See if we can finish this. 38. Do you avoid excessive sun exposure during peak UV hours? That's the question. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Do you avoid excessive sun exposure during peak UV hours, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.? And okay. Alright. Prevents DNA damage and skin melanoma. That's what it does. So you have to be temperate. Alright, moving on. Number 39. So 10% if you said yes to 38. Do you avoid excessive sun exposure during peak UV hours? Number 39. Do you use sunlight as a mood booster during winter months? Where we are in the Northeast here, snow is still on the ground, right? But do you go there, make sure you dress properly, and you go there and you make sure that you're getting that sunlight in still, right? If it's a yes, you get 10 points. Prevents seasonal affective disorder. That's SAD. SAD. It prevents seasonal affected disorder. A lot of individuals are depressed at this time because they're not getting enough sunlight. Number 40. Do you prioritize natural light over artificial blue light during the day? Yes, 10 points. No, 0 points. Why is that important? Artificial light lacks the full spectrum needed for hormonal balance. Did you hear that? Artificial light lacks the full spectrum needed for hormonal balance, and because of imbalance we are getting sick. You're talking all kind of sicknesses. Hormones, remember, hormones are what the endocrine system works with, right? The different hormones that are function. The endocrine system parallel the nervous system. Nervous system is faster and temperate, while the endocrine system, the hormonal system, is longer and take longer to respond, but it stays in the system longer. And so the hormonal triggers, your hormones triggers a lot of things, right? All right, so we are up to the 40 question. If you have 400 points, then you're doing fantastic. That means ignorance wasn't killing you. But if you are lower than 400, say you have 200, can I say halfly ignorance, it has been killing you half the amount. Let's put it that way. And so what you don't know can definitely kill you. Did you know that? All right, let's run over to the next 50. Let's see if we can go up to 50. We're going to look at temperance, self-control. We need to improve on that. Temperance, self-control, and the definition of temperance is that you stay away from everything that is bad. But what you do good, you do it in, what is good, you do it in moderation. So the World Convention definition is that everything be temperate in everything. And so the world is saying that I must be temperate in drinking alcohol, right? Let's say a glass of alcohol. But research shows that there is no safe doses of alcohol. So the world says temperate in everything. This program, this service, this presentation say stay away from everything that is bad. Whatever is good, do that in moderation. So for example, I know that mango is good for me, right? Am I gonna eat 2 dozen mangoes? No. Number one is that it's too much. Number two, it will cause my stomach to be full. That lead to my stomach not be able to digest the food properly. So even the good things, we stay away. We are moderate with, right? So moderation. And so I'm not going to go to a gym and over exercise because that will damage my joints and damage my muscles. And so even exercise I have to be temperate in, right? That's the definition of temperance. Let's move on. First question, do you completely abstain from alcohol? 10 points if yes. Why? the Adventist Health Study highlight that total abstinence is a factor in Adventist longevity. Alcohol is a group 1 carcinogen. Did you know that? Alcohol will cause cancer. That's what the research shows. Can you imagine that? Ignorance is giving us cancer. It's killing us with cancer because they say, because the industry that promotes alcohol will say, just drink a glass of red wine. Just drink a glass of red wine, and you wonder where that cancer came from. Right? It's because of that red wine you've been drinking. Right? And so ignorance can definitely kill you. So guess what? We're not drinking, instead of drinking the red wine, why not grow the seeded grapes? You know, a friend of mine was in Jamaica, and she said that she saw some grapes on top of the roof. And so she got a ladder, climbed on top of the roof, and she got a bunch of grapes that have seeds in it. Yes, these grapes were naturally grown and they have seeds in it. And so by eating the grapes, she get the property that is in the skin naturally, that has no alcohol in it. So when they say to drink a glass of red wine, they're talking about, what's the name of that substance that is good for us? Put it in the chat. Yes, Sister Angela. Resveratrol. No, that's not how you pronounce it.
Resveratrol.
Thank you. Right? That's the drink. That's what we get from the skin itself. So instead of drinking the alcohol, the red wine with the alcohol, why not just eat it direct? You don't have to pay for it. So I want everyone to start planting grapes, so I can get some seeded grapes. You go to the store, you can't find any grapes with a seed. I'm wondering what's going on with it. I wonder what's going on. Our food becomes, I'm wondering if it's food. These fruits without seed, are they fruit? Isn't the fruit supposed to have seed in it? So we can chew them up and get the fiber and get all the energy that the next plant supposed to get, which help the colon, fiber and all of these stuff. Right? Let me move on. Where am I? Okay. So alcohol is a group 1 carcinogen. And so all my family members, if you're drinking alcohol, say no to alcohol. Let's repeat. Say no to alcohol. Repeat. So all the alcohol that is inside your kitchen or your cupboard, you need to get rid of them. Or you can use them to make, I will do a presentation what you can use the alcohol to extract, but you have to know, boil it to get rid of the alcohol after, right? All right, let's move on. Tincture, you can use to make tincture. All right, let's move on. Question number 42. Remember, we are looking at ignorance and we are looking at where we are when it comes down to these questions. If you say yes to any of these questions, you get 10 points. If you say no, you get 0 points. Do you completely abstain from tobacco and vaping? Tobacco. Do you know, as we learn in this presentation, that when I smoke and my wife smells the cigarette, that smoke that my wife breathes in is more dangerous than me smoking the cigarette, because my cigarette would have a filter to filter that smoke. And so cigarette smoke is more dangerous than me smoking it. Did you know that? I hear of husband smoke and wife die. Wife didn't smoke, but she inhaled the secondhand smoke. And so any smoke whatsoever, your lungs are designed to breathe in fresh oxygen, fresh forest, green air. It is not designed to inhale all the toxic in our home, toxic in our neighborhood, right? Yes, and the person who smoke don't smell. After a while, they become immune and they have their own smoke alcohol, cologne. I call it cologne. They have their own smoke cologne, right? They close, and when you smell it, it is, and they don't know, and they're killing themselves. And when they get sick, who have to take care of them? The person who did not smoke. Because it causes heart problem, it causes cancer, it causes all kind of stuff. Wow. Ignorance. Ignorance. Because it look cool. You know, we say it look cool. Cool the dead. And so tobacco. Tobacco is the leading cause of preventable death globally. Did you hear that? Can I repeat that? Tobacco. Dave Brown, sorry my brother, I didn't even see you. Tobacco is the what? Leading cause of death, a preventative cause of death globally. Can you imagine that? Tobacco is the leading cause of preventable death globally. So you get 10 points. Another 10 points that you can get. Do you avoid overeating even of healthy foods? Can I repeat that? Do you avoid overeating even of healthy foods? 10 points. Right? You get if you say yes, and 0 points if you say no. Why? Excess calories create oxidative stress and accelerate aging. Did you hear that? Overeating is making you older. Right? Overeating is accelerating your age. Did you know that? Ignorance can make you older. That's funny. And it's bad for your kidney, I know. Yeah, man. I'm pointing my finger at myself too. See, all my fingers is pointing at me. We need to do better. We, as me, need to do better. Moving on. Next question. Do you practice fasting at least 12 to 14 hours overnight? I was looking at a research on this gentleman, Yoki, I don't remember his name, but he's a Japanese scientist, and he found out that the body heats itself. Right? When you fast, the body heats, and so the body regenerates and basically clean up what needs to be cleaned up in the system. So fasting is good. Fasting is good for the system. Sometimes you need to give the stomach a rest, man. We just eat morning, evening, and noon. Morning, evening, and noon. Morning, evening, and noon. We need to give the stomach a rest. The stomach needs a break also. You have only one stomach. It's not like you can take it out and get another stomach. It's the only stomach that you have. We need to take care of our stomach. Can I repeat? You need to take care of your stomach, because if you cannot eat, eventually you're going to die. You're going to be starved to death. Right? Intentionally or unintentionally, you're going to starve to death. Amen. Right? You're going to starve. You're going to starve to death if you continue eating, take a break. Take a break. No, today, take a break. Instead of eating that big meal, why not eat a little piece? Chew it properly. If you chew the food properly, you'll be surprised you get more nutrients from the food. Sometimes we are starving because we don't take the time to chew our food. We need to chew our food properly. Take our time to chew our food. Take our time to chew. You, me. Stop being in a hurry. Why are we in a hurry? Stop being in a hurry. Stop being in a hurry. Take our time to sit down and chew your food. Enjoy the food. Be present there. Don't look on the TV. Don't look at the... Sit down and just chew and allow that food to integrate into our system. Right? Yes. All right. Let me move on. Number five. So the reason for chewing, do you practice fasting? The reason for practicing fasting, it promote autophagy, the body's way of cleaning out damaged cells. That's what it does. Taking a break. Next question. Do you avoid addictive substance like caffeine? Right? Do you avoid addictive substance like caffeine? You know, did I tell you that caffeine is the second most addictive substance? Why should you avoid it? Overstimulation of the adrenal glands leads to chronic fatigue and anxiety. So they're saying coffee that's supposed to relax you is causing the same problem. Is you know that dog that tried to bite his tail and he runs around in circles? It's the same principle. You're taking the coffee to relax you, but the same coffee is causing you fatigue and anxiety. And so you are in a roll going down into the, wherever you're going, into the pit. And so you need to stop. You need to stop. Just decide to stop doing it. Instead of buying the coffee, if you know that the route that you drive your car or you walk is causing you to buy whatever you know that is killing you, you need to take a different route. Yes, man, sometimes you have to run away from the what is causing you death and change your route. Change your route. Yes, man. Change your route. If you want something different, you can't. You do the same thing. You have to change and make that change. Right? Make that change. Make that change. I hope you guys have been enjoying this presentation like I am enjoying this presentation. All right, let's move on. So, overstimulation of the adrenal glands lead to chronic fatigue and anxiety. So the caffeine is causing the problem. Remove the cause. If you remove the cause, you stop having that problem. Do you maintain a healthy BMI? Healthy body mass index 18.5 to 24.9. 18.5 to 24.9. If your BMA, body mass index, and you can use a tape measure and then you measure yourself on the scale and you can calculate it. It should be 18.5 to 24.9. And the reason for that is that obesity is a foundational cause of nearly all chronic disease. Hear that? Overweight. And you know you're overweight. We know that we are overweight, right? Right? Overweight is a cause of the top 10 killers. That means heart disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, cancer, lungs issue, all of these diseases, obesity. We are not designed to carry the knee problem. You see that ankle problem or that knee foot problem that we've been having is because of the weight that we have. And I know that our hormones plays a role, and sometimes we don't have any control over our weight because of menopause also. And you hear about menopause, right? The menopause, because our hormones are unbalanced, right? And so it's important. It is important to make the choice. Remember Ken decided that, hey, he's not going to fight with this high blood pressure, and so he decided to go to the gym and change what he eats and love his wife more. Do you know that your relationship can cause your blood pressure to raise high if you don't have that loving relationship? If you have a toxic relationship, it can cause prostate cancer, breast cancer, cortisol produced from all that stress. And there's a small country that I won't call its name that has a bar on every corner, and so the men goes there and drink, and so that when they get home, they are so drunk to hear the wife making all that noise. Oh, mercy. All right. Amen. All right, let's move on.
Brother Courtney,
Oh, you're here. I've been looking for you, Pastor.
I've been here for a long time,
They sure
listening
raise
to
your
you,
hand,
enjoying
Pastor. I've
yourself.
been. All right, so I'm gonna shut. No, just a minute. Let me just co-host. I see our grandson. Where he is? Don't move. Just a minute. Here you are. I'm gonna make you I should make Pastor Let me co-host Pastor first. You raise your hand, Pastor. Oh, you
Raise
raise
my
your hand.
hand, you see me?
Okay. Oh, I see. That's why I couldn't find you. If you look at your name, you raise your hand, right?
No, I'm the first one up there. Shot. All right, let me raise my
All right. Make Okay.
raise my hand.
All right. Make you co-host. And then I make Khalik. Where are you? Don't move, Khalik. Don't move from where you are. All right. Let me make you host. All right. All right. You're host. You're host now, Khalik. All
Brother
right.
Courtney,
Yes.
it's Sister Nicole. I reached out to you for I needed some help with the Browns, and nobody ever got back to me.
So don't go away. Stay where you are. Dave Brown. Nikki is here. So we have Dave Brown, our consult team is here. So Nikki, please bring her in. She will send you an invite, and both of you can talk. So Dave is here, and Nikki Harrison is her name, Brother Dave. So Brother Dave will reach out to you. All right. So Pastor, let me just close up my TikTok team. So we are here next week, family from TikTok. Goer family, Goer, Goer family, and so we will talk. And thank you for joining. It's way past that hour and a half that I would stay with you. And so next week I will continue this presentation. Make a note of it and bring a friend with you. And so thanks again for coming on, my TikTok friends, family member. No, I don't want that in. All right. So over to you, Pastor. So we have.
Well, Courtney, thank you for that abundance of information. I wish I had some time to see what the people taking away from it this morning. You know, I like to do that because repetition deepens impression. And I don't know if I can open up. Let me see. So good morning, early morning health. I'm calling you all the way from Montego Bay in the beautiful island of Jamaica.
Amen.
And as I think about the